Covering Colorado tonight, voters could have a lot to decide in the 2020 election.
One group wants to know how you feel about reintroducing wolves to Colorado. Now, environmentalists support it, but ranchers and hunters, they are not on board.
News 5's Allison Zimmerman breaking down the issue.
Think of Colorado, you think of the beauty of Colorado, and you think of the wildlife. Well, the wolf is part of that wildlife.
The system is working like it should. They're introducing themselves at a rate that's manageable.
Whether or not wolves should be reintroduced in Colorado is an issue dividing groups who largely dedicate their lives to the outdoors.
It's the missing voice that we have. It's the missing predator that we have.
People like Darlene Kabobel say it's simple biology, a need for predator and prey.
We have to have that brought back just to restore that balance.
She's part of a group collecting signatures to get this on the ballot, but there's concern among cattle ranchers in Colorado and how it could impact their herds.
So an introduction in mass numbers like that is going to have an effect on the wildlife in that area.
Gray wolves were eradicated from Colorado in the 1940s. In the last decade, U.S. Fish and Wildlife reintroduced wolves in these states, including Colorado's neighbors, Wyoming and New Mexico. But there have already been reports of some wolves migrating into the state. And that alone is concerning ranchers.
Take the philosophy that healthy cattle do a relatively good job with preventing attacks on their young. However, if those number of predators continues to increase, it's naturally going to affect us.
Hunters are in the same camp. They say it could have an impact on the outdoor industry.
My biggest worry is that wolves do come in and you're not able to manage them once they get here.
With hundreds of people moving to and visiting Colorado for the hunting opportunities, there's concern over the long-term impacts of the wildlife populations and a major moneymaker for the state.
They will feed on anything that moves.
If Coloradans approve the issue, initially about 20 to 30 wolves would be introduced on the western slope. Then it would be up to Parks and Wildlife to manage the population.
A wolf is always going to be a controversial issue, and there are ways to be able to coexist. It has been done before. It's still being done in some places.
One of the big concerns is a state without wolves ultimately impacting the environment in different habitats. Wolves can help limit the spread of chronic wasting disease. And with many elk and deer in the state, it takes away vegetation that can lead to erosion near streams and rivers. The organizers behind the ballot initiative say ranchers would receive compensation for any lost cattle from wolves, but ranchers feel uncertain.
That compensation is a negotiated process. Is the value of the calf that's taken the price of the calf at the time it's taken, or to our liking, it's the time of the marketing of that calf at 210, 220 days old? They have a much higher value to us then.
Questions ranchers hope to have answers to as wolf advocates work to bring them back into Colorado's open ranges.
We're supposed to be this beautiful, beautiful state that has wild lands and wild places, for, our wildlife. So that's what we're trying to bring back and trying to restore.
Right now, the group trying to get this on the ballot needs to collect about 125,000 valid signatures. Now, a study by the Legislative Council estimates the first year of introducing wolves would cost more than $340,000. And the second year, the cost would be more than $460,000. Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. Allison Zimmerman, News 5.